Hey guys, and welcome back to the final part of the Sonic 3 and Knuckles playthrough. We are in Sky Sanctuary Zone, and oh, look at that! He did it after all. So that was his plan. Oh man, I guess we kind of failed now. Now this became a lot harder because the whole idea was to get the Master Emerald because I guess he needed. Oh god! Careful, Sonic! You're not drunk, are you? He needed the Master Emerald because I guess he needed a power source to fuel the Death Egg and get it back up to speed. So, hey, we failed. And to be fair, I think this is on Knuckles because he believed him for some reason. But yeah, anyway, now that this happened, we gotta stop it. We gotta go and do this, man. Come on. This is Sky Sanctuary Zone, the first Sky theme zone in the game. I really like it. It's actually one act. This is not a full zone, but you're gonna be seeing a lot of these egg robo type enemies. That's literally what they're called. And the fellow we'll be fighting in this zone is rather interesting. We'll see him in a second, but we'll see him, and I'll comment on him then. But you know, a lot of the platforming, actually, we'll see him in right now. Let's do this. Meet Mecha Sonic, everyone, and Mecha Sonic is rehashed the boss fight because what are you? Okay, I guess we're refighting the ball and chain boss from Sonic 1, the original thing Eggman used against us. Okay, that was all right. That's cute, Mecha Sonic. Come back in 10 years or whatever. Anyway, let's move on here and. Alright, we're back. Screw that enemy placement, man. That's bad design. I couldn't have done anything about that. Hey, take this, stupidly placed egg robo. Yeah, I got him good. Anyway, so yeah, we're back we're still going through Sky Sanctuary. That was odd. I don't know why Mecha Sonic. I don't know if that's Mecha Sonic, by the way. Rehashed the character. Introduced him earlier. By the way, rehash the boss fight. Original character, do not steal, because he's kind of like Sonic the Hedgehog, Knuckles the Echidna. So he's rehashed the boss fight. And speaking of rehash the boss fight, hey, look, it's Metropolis Zone boss, but I have the electric shield, so I don't care about that. Okay, thanks. That was a cute attempt. Okay. I don't know why he's bothering to do it like this. Like, seriously. I mean, I'm assuming Eggman has Mecha Sonic stationed here because he's just trying to buy as much time as possible before he, while he's, bringing the Death Egg up and bringing everything up to speed. So he's trying to slow Sonic down. But again, nothing can slow Sonic down, well, unless it's water. But thankfully he doesn't think to do that again, unlike Scrap Brain Zone. Or in the original game anyway. And really, Mecha Sonic is 3 boss fights. Like, Sky Sanctuary itself isn't really a hard zone. It's not easy, but it's not the most difficult thing in the world. I think Lava Reef can give you more trouble, honestly. And in some cases Flying Battery, but as you can see here, I'm having a bit of trouble myself, so it's not the easiest thing in the world. This is technically before the final zone of the game. Like the next zone after this is the last zone in the game. So we're pretty close. This is why this is the final part after all. But the big bulk of the stage is pretty much Mecha Sonic, and you fight him 3 times. You've already seen 2 of them: the Ball and Chain boss and the Metropolis boss. So okay, that's nice, Mecha Sonic, but I don't care. And it's not really a long level when you know what you're doing either, because look at this. We're already we're 4 minutes in, and we're nearing the end. Well, I guess this isn't short either, but still, we're at the end right now. So yeah, you take this teleporter, and let's see where this leads us. And oh god, what the what? Okay. Alright guys, this is basically a rehashed Silver Sonic, kind of. Like, he's kind of got a different pattern going on, because he's gonna dash through the sky, then bounce, then dash backwards, and then I think he's gonna keep. Well, no, he's gonna. Yeah, again, he does different things. So, but again, despite me getting hit like a freaking really bad player of the game, we still win. So it's cool. Oh, and I guess he's not destroyed yet. So let's destroy. Oh, he's. I guess Sonic doesn't feel the same way. He's just gonna pose and I'll move on. He's done. I hope that doesn't come back to hit us in the back later. But anyway, alright, time to head to the Death Egg, and oh god, Scar Sanctuary is crumbling. Run, Sonic, run! Run! You're the bestest thing alive for a reason! Get out of here! This is a pretty cool set piece, by the way. I like the set piece. This is pretty fun. And we did it! We successfully boarded the Death Egg! And what does that mean? We're heading to the final zone of the game, ladies and gentlemen, and here we are. And unlike the last game, Sonic 2, this is a full final zone. This isn't like a, oh look, Silver Sonic and the Death Egg robot. No, this is 2 full acts with a mini boss and a boss at the end, and a lot of platforming in between. So, you know, I'm actually glad this is the final zone. Like, you can't rehash the Death Star from you know, Star Wars and not do anything with that. So I'm glad they made a zone out of it. Anyway, what the Death Egg is basically, it's kind of like, it's definitely fitting for what its placement is. It's the final zone, so it really deserves the name. This is the Scrap Rain. This is the Metropolis zone of this game. And what do I think of it overall? Well, honestly, I think it's better than Scrap Rain and Metropolis zone. This is my favorite final zone in the trilogy, because I feel it doesn't have all the same elements that made the other 2 zones really annoying to go through. Like, Scrap Rain's fine, honestly. I don't mind Scrap Rain too much, but I don't like Metropolis. And I think Death Egg does, you know, makes it difficult, but for the right reasons this time, in my opinion. Like, a lot of it isn't just really annoying enemies. There are annoying enemies to speak of, but they're not really placed so much in the way as, but more rather, they're kind of like harder to dodge, and their patterns are different. Like, some enemies have a lot of range. Some enemies will, you know, have spikes in places that are kind of annoying and inconvenient for you. But they're not like slicers where they're always placed in front of you where you have no time to react to them. Like this guy right here. You can see him coming, and you have the insta shield this time to take him out. So it's not difficult to do. So it's cool. And as for the platforming itself, well, this is the first in the Sonic zones I know. Well, I think, yeah, this is the first Sonic zone to do it. I keep starting over my words. I'm sorry. But this is the anti-gravity gimmick. Yeah, there's a lot of anti-gravity here. We're going to be seeing more of that in Act 2, but it pretty much you know, this is the zone for that. And honestly, anti-gravity isn't for everyone. I know for a fact, like, my brother hates it because we play like stuff like Rayman Legends co-op, and then he played Sonic Forces. And in both of those games, there are moments where you're like in Sonic Forces, you're in the Death Egg again. They rehashed that zone in Sonic Forces, or that zone returns. And you know, he's just playing it and he's just telling me like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just like, yeah, I get it. The anti-gravity doesn't mess me up as much as others, but I know it. I understand. I totally get why you would hate this zone. It's just like, it's so hard, it's so trippy, and I have no idea what's going on. And I get that. But you know, not honestly a difficult zone. By the way, invincibility right here. You want to grab that because coming up is a pretty difficult zone because it's a conveyor belt with their over electricity, and it's not an easy segment and it's pretty slow. But if you have the invincibility or the electric shield, by the way, you don't care about that. So there you go. And yeah, you can tell that I'm not even trying with the bonus stages at this point because I don't want to lose my rings, and at this point I don't have much to gain really. Like, and especially from that one, the slots bonus stage isn't gonna get me anything I really need. What I would want is the dispenser one or the orbs one to get an electric shield, but no. And yeah, that's all I have to say about the zone. There are no new elements until Act 2. And there's nothing new gonna happen until the mini-boss shows up. We didn't get we didn't get all the Super Emeralds, so I'll show off the last special stage. Or actually, I'm actually gonna show off because I technically did show off all 7 special stages in this playthrough. But I feel the last one, like I even showed off the last one fully because all I had to do at the last segment was turn right at the right time and I would have won. But I missed my timing, so I'll get the I'll get the last one off screen and get the reward for it. I don't want to spoil the reward because I want to show it off first. And then I'll show, like, in the extra video, because there is an extra video planned, but I should be talking about the mini-boss, shouldn't I? He's pretty easy, he's kind of like the battery of the thing. The first phase, because it's two phases. First phase is kind of like Metropolis Zone, you just see me right there. When the spheres are down, hit him. When they're not, don't. And then the second phase, where basically he's has these 2 platforms surrounding him, and he can shoot a laser when he, like Flying Battery Zone, when he gets hit. And he flashes red, so I think he's getting angry, like, stop that! That hurts! No, I won't stop. And yeah, not too difficult, honestly. I'm assuming that was the battery, you know, for a part of the Death Egg, because after this, we pose and do our thing, and then this part gets destroyed because I'm assuming it lost power, and oh no, the signpost fell down! Oh no, signpost, I'm sorry. Anyway, we're at Act 2 right now, and Act 2 is really when the, you know, the anti-gravity mechanics start to kick in, and all the stuff that was introduced in the first act carries over, so, you know, it's definitely pretty difficult. The platforming can be pretty intense, like, oh look, right now, oh, I'm on the ceiling, okay, that's cool, I can get used to this. Oh, I'm back on the ground, okay, this is gonna be kinda trippy. You get into these anti-gravity segments again, and, you know, this time you choose where you go, so yeah. And you know, that's the final zone. By the way, extra life up here, and even more secrets to come, because if you head, well, right here, I guess technically, it's technically left, I don't know, whatever. Anti-gravity sucks. You can get through ring boxes, so that's pretty sweet. And yeah. By the way, because Mechasonic wasn't destroyed, I'm assuming you know that means something's gonna happen with Mechasonic later. But we're not gonna see that in this playthrough. And what do I mean by that? We're not finished with Sonic 3 yet, folks. I wanted to mention this after the credits, but clearly I have nothing to talk about. Or yeah, scratch that, never mind, because I have something to talk about right here. The really annoying segment coming up right after this. Because this is when, like, everything in the zone is taking effect, you know, at once. Because you're gonna see right here, and by the way, I just hit the checkpoint, so if you die in that segment, you're gonna restart right next to it with no rings. So what do I mean? Anti-gravity, conveyor belts, spikes, things shooting at you, not pretty much ouchie, ouch, all over the place. If that's a good way to describe that. And if you die right there, because it's really easy to get hit once and lose all your rings and not pick up any rings, and then get hit again and die and respawn at that instant checkpoint that was right before with no rings, yeah, that segment's kind of treacherous, so that segment sucks. I don't like that segment. Yeah, thank you. We're back in normal gravity now. Yes, I'm grateful. We're over Bottomless Pit. You've seen these bridges before, but this time they're gonna crumble and fall, so don't stand on them too long. Because, again, we're over Bottomless Pit, so you're gonna die, so the bridge is gonna keep separating until it just falls apart. I've clearly run out of topics to talk about, so let's talk about Knuckles the Echidna. We've pretty much seen all the events in the game with Knuckles. Knuckles doesn't show up again, by the way. in this playthrough. And I mentioned this in the first part, but seriously, Knuckles, how gullible can you be? Because we wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for Knuckles. Eggman's plans would probably be destroyed at launch base. Because, you know, Knuckles keeps getting in our way and keeps getting Eggman time to prepare. I'm assuming it actually kind of makes sense in a way because this takes place right after Sonic 2. So Eggman didn't have much time to make new things, even though there's a ton of new bosses and stuff in this game. But I'm assuming, realistically, Eggman had the time to do those things because, you know, Knuckles kept getting in our way and he kept, like, I don't think it was Sonic's intention to ever go through Hydro City Zone. But Knuckles destroyed the bridge and, you know, we ended up having to go through there. And I guess that kept giving Eggman time to prepare and do new things, so. And then he takes advantage of Knuckles and steals the Master Emerald. And Knuckles is too tired to fight back, so he realizes what a good guy Sonic is. And, you know, we carry on through Sky Sanctuary Zone and move on with our life. And, well, not move on with our life, but we're here to take the Master Emerald back and stop Eggman's plans. And as you can tell, I don't even care about the bonus stages anymore. I wasn't even gonna get anything out of that. I was only gonna get an electric shield or a fire shield, which I already have, so who cares? Anyway, time for the boss fight of Death Egg. It's pretty much this thing, and how this works is pretty much anti-gravity the boss fight. He keeps releasing these spike contraptions, and pretty much every time you change gravity, the gravity changes for the spike things as well. So I want to change it so that he gets hurt by them. But the tip that will make this boss so much easier, that I didn't know about, is if the thing is flipped on its back, because you flipped gravity and you missed him, right? Like right here. No, I hit him actually. But if you flip gravity and then you miss him, the thing's just gonna land upside down, so you can't even hit him then anymore. But if you spin dash into it, you're gonna flip it over, so you're gonna be able to hit him then. And if you don't, you can just land in the elevator and it'll flip over. And just spin dashing into it and then alternating between spin dashing and getting back into the elevator will make this such an easier fight, and will make it so much easier to get, you know, some flow into the fight, so that you're hitting him constantly. And if you're not hitting him, then you're just flipping them over, and, you know, it's a fun fight. I really like this fight. And, you know, when you know what you're doing, it's a pretty easy fight, so yeah. You failed, Eggman. Get back here. Get back here, Egghead. Oh, what? How is he fast? This isn't the first time this happens. How is he faster than me? I'm the fastest thing alive. Anyway, this is the Doomsday Robot, I'm assuming. Or if it's not this, then it's the fight coming up. And this is the final boss of the game if you don't have any of the Chaos Emeralds or Super Emeralds. How he works is he's two phases. The first phase is pretty pathetic because he keeps trying to crush you, even though his fingers are clearly not powerful enough to do that. As you can tell, like, I'm spin dashing, he's trying to crush me, but no, I'm still hurting him, so who cares, Eggman? Rethink your strategy, dude, seriously. And yeah, the first phase is pretty pathetic and actually kind of intrusive, because if you die to the second phase, well, you're gonna have to go through this again, and this is kind of like a minute wasted because there's nothing happening here, as you can tell. But the second phase is really where the fight starts to kick off, and you carry over the rings you get from Death Egg. So if you have rings at the end of the boss fight after Death Egg, you're gonna have them here, and that's really important because if you die, and if you notice I did die, you're gonna start with no rings, so you're gonna have to not get hit. But it's not really a tough fight. How this basically works is the platforms are crumbling, the robot is chasing you, and he has two attacks. He shoots fire out of his nose, like this, and then when you hit his nose, you open up the Master Emerald piece. So I guess he needed the Master Emerald to power this thing. So you hit the Master Emerald, and that's really his weak spot, but the Master Emerald is also charging a laser, so, you know, careful, don't get hit by any of those because you're gonna die. But as you can tell, it's a really easy fight, not too hard when you know what you're doing. So yeah, that's it. Wow, that's it, Eggman? Okay, that's cool. For this final segment, Eggman is getting away with the Master Emerald, and we're like, no, buddy, you're not getting away with that. Get back here. Give me back my Master Emerald. Or Knuckles' Master Emerald, rather. And yeah, you just keep on running. The debris isn't gonna hurt you, so don't worry about that. And you damage him enough, and there you go. That should be it, right? We're done. We destroyed the thing. But no, if you have all the Chaos Emeralds, or Super Emeralds, this happens. And I'm assuming Eggman had some last-minute trick to steal the Master Emerald from under Sonic's nose again, because he has it again, and This is the whole point of this fight. We're just chasing him and trying to get it back, because this is pretty much the final trick Eggman has up his sleeve, the final robot. He's just escaping with the Master Emerald at this point. So for this first segment, we're supersonic. And for this first segment, basically, you just keep running into the rings. The missiles and the meteors aren't actually going to hurt you, but, you know. Don't run into them because you need to collect the rings, because as you can see, he's just going to spin in place and not go anywhere, so we're just going to keep wasting time. And with this fight, time is pretty much your life bar, because this is supersonic we're talking about. He keeps losing rings, his rings keep draining, and if he loses all his rings, well, he's going to die, or he's going to turn back into normal Sonic, and we're in the middle of space, in the middle of nowhere. So, you know, he's gonna die. But you're eventually gonna catch up to Eggman, and pretty much what this first phase is like is he keeps shooting these missiles at you, as well as energy balls, but we don't care about the energy balls. He keeps shooting the missiles, and what you're supposed to do, the missiles are gonna chase you down. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to guide them into him, and that's how you damage him. So, yeah, that's basically it. Not a difficult fight, but it's not really clear at first what you're supposed to do, so I can see people just fumbling around not really knowing what to do, but not that hard. You destroy this piece, and Eggman is literally just like trying so hard, so desperately to get away with the Master Emerald at this point. Like, seriously, look at this. No, leave me alone, Sonic, leave me alone. Get back here, Eggman. So he's chasing. At this point, it's a pretty simple fight because nothing can really damage you. You're still chasing him down with the Supersonic, and he has the Master Emerald. He's just basically running away. So you just keep getting the rings and chasing him, and you know, you just want to damage him. You just want to run into him. You don't have to, you know, guide anything into him or anything. His only attack is these rockets that he keeps shooting at you. So not an issue really. And yeah, that's pretty basic, but honestly, I really like this fight. Not only is the music, and the music for the last fight was so good as well. Like, the music is such an epic, like, it's such an epic soundtrack, and so fun to listen to while you're. This is so a climactic finish, and you know, I really like that idea of like, this starts a whole trend of, hey, look at this, gather all the Chaos Emeralds, and you get a extra boss fight because you went out of your way. And I like the idea of it, extra content for doing the bonus stuff. So, you know, pretty cool. But eventually, you know, Eggman can't keep doing this forever. We're gonna save the day eventually. I mean, come on, Eggman. You really thought we're gonna lose to you? Come on. We did it, folks. We did it. We saved the day, and our trusty pal Tails comes to save both Sonic and the Master Emerald. So well done, Tails. Eggman's okay, by the way. I'm assuming he got off fine. But I guess we don't care what happened to him. Again, he's the villain, so screw you, Eggman. And that is it, folks. That is Sonic 3 and Knuckles. We did it. We saved the day. The Death Egg has been destroyed for a second time. We got the Master Emerald back. And we're taking it back to Angel Island to Knuckles. So, hooray. And then we're just gonna be on our way because, you know, we did it. We have no reason to say anymore. Like, see, the Master Emerald's back. I never mentioned this, but Angel Island is a floating island. I mentioned this at the end of the game. And uses the power of the Master Emerald to float, apparently. Again, I guess hence the name Angel Island, because it's floating. But yes, we did it! Angel Island is back in the sky, and we saved the day! That has been Sonic 3 and Knuckles, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. And what do I think about this game? Well, honestly, if I have a comment to make, I think in any trilogy, no matter what the genre is, but every game has its own big job that it has to do. And the first one is, for the first game, you have to lay the foundation. Establish what you want to do. Establish the universe, establish your main characters, your main villains, and the main aspects of the gameplay and whatnot. And for Sonic 1, it did that well. I mentioned that in the Sonic 1 playthrough. The second game, what that has to do is pretty much fine-tune everything, take feedback, and fine-tune everything that didn't work in the first game, and make it, you know, better. And again, Sonic 2 did that beautifully. I really love how, like, I think Sonic 2 did it so well. So, okay, the second game happened and it was perfect. Or it fine-tuned everything, we don't know where to go from here. So the third game, what's that supposed to do? And basically, what I think the third game should do in any trilogy is pretty much go above and beyond, be super ambitious, keep adding on to the formula, and give something so big and so ambitious, but at the same time that doesn't stray from the original formula and that doesn't lose its focus. And I think a lot of third games fall into that trap where they just are overly ambitious, that they kind of end up losing the charm or some of the natural flow that the second game has. And some people like the Crash Bandicoot trilogy. Why some people prefer Sonic Crash 2 over Crash 3? Because I think Crash 3 was a bit over ambitious with what it wanted to do. So I'm getting off topic, by the way. Sonic 3 and Knuckles did not lose any of its focus while it was going through. I felt like all the zones still retained the speed and the flow of Sonic 2 while still having fun platforming and having their own identity and having this big massive experience that you could play over and over, and for each level you could find a lot of alternate routes and a lot of hidden boxes and special stage rings and checkpoints and bonus stages and elemental shields, and it's just a massive experience that, you know, I feel like it still didn't lose its focus, and the mini and all the additions too on the formula. Like seriously, the elemental shields, the mini bosses, the events with Knuckles. I really like the set pieces they kept introducing. With like, hey look, Knuckles hit the switch. Eggman burned Angel Island down. Oh look, at the end of Lava Reef Zone, there's this side-scroller set piece. And you eventually fight Knuckles, and Eggman steals the Master Emerald, and there's a lot going on with this game. And again, not to mention, it was like 13 zones long. Technically 12 if you don't count Sky Sanctuary and Hidden Palace as a zone, but it was a big thing. It wasn't a small zone at all. And, what? Okay. That isn't ominous at all. What's that? An egg robo, huh? Huh. Okay. I'm sure it doesn't matter. But yeah, back to what I was saying. Such a big game. Such a big experience. I really love how this game pushed the limit and pushed everything to new limits, and pretty much, just boosted the formula. It didn't lose focus. It didn't, make stages that were just not about the what Sonic 2 made it about, not about Sonic. It made, and I don't care what you have to mention either, like Sandopolis or Carnival Night or whatever. It's still super fun. Like I still prefer Sonic 2 to this, honestly, but still, I still think this is just a phenomenal game. I mean, come on, man. It was so fun. It was such a great game. And it has just loads of content, just loads of replayability with the save system and whatnot. So, phenomenally done. I still think Sonic has one of the best trilogies out there. So yeah, that has been Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Great game, fantastic game. But we're actually not done with it yet. I have an extra video planned showing off all the extra things in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, as well as another playthrough, because I mentioned this earlier, but Sonic wasn't the only character we were going to be playing in this game. We're still going to be playing, and we're going to be playing as Knuckles the Echidna, because he has a new playthrough, and we'll see what's up with that. But not before a little break. I'm going to take a little break to deal with some personal things, so yeah, but I should be back before too long. Anyway, that has been it for Sonic 3 and Knuckles, the first playthrough anyway. Hope you enjoyed it. I love this game so much. Hope you love this game so much as I do. Leave your thoughts on the game in the comments. So, yeah, see you guys when we come back for the rest of the content. Big